Scotland has recorded the highest number of deaths due to substance abuse in Europe in 2017. The latest figures showed a record number of 934 people died in Scotland as a direct result of substance overdoses, more than double the number a decade ago and 2.5 times the rate UK-wide. Drug use affects not only users but all those connected to the abuser. CrossReach has been at the forefront of providing care to the population of Scotland for 150 years.
Providing counseling and therapeutic support for adults who abuse substances and young people aged 15 to 18 affected by parental substance use, Simpson House has been a pertinent service provider to the population of Edinburgh since 1985. In 2017 to 2018, over 2,400 appointments were offered to adults and over 1,100 appointments were offered to children and young people. Like the sunflower that turns towards the light, Simpson House aids children in finding their light in times of darkness characterized by their parental substance use. Providing one-to-one therapeutic support and art therapy, Simpson House has generated immense societal impact in providing help for those coming from challenging family environments.
Primarily funded by the Church of Scotland, the City Council of Edinburgh, Scotch Whisky Action Fund, Children's Appear, Ponton House Trust, Dr. Guthrie's Association, among many others, Simpson House relies on funding coming in as donations and grants to run the various services.
Due to heavy reliance on funding, Simpson House has to adhere to funder requirements, not only to meet targets, but also in the avenues in which they provide services. Due to the increased volume demanded by the funders, there is a significant level of stress created within the organization, which further leads to a serious question regarding the well-being of the counsellors and volunteers, which in turn affects the quality of services provided.
In dealing with the issues of meeting funder targets, there are three main facets identified by us which lead to a mission drift within Simpson House. The high targets demanded by the principal funder point towards an increased volume in service provided, which in turn not only lowers the quality of service, but also poses a pertinent risk in the notion of employee self-care. This triple mutual relationship leads to a vehement conflict of interest and thereby creating major organizational imbalance.
To further comprehend the central problem identified within Simpson House, the organizational imbalance can be mapped on a problem tree. There are main and secondary causes which lead to this imbalance within Simpson House. The management, who are burdened by funders' institutional pressure, take decisions which dictate the distribution of resources. There exists a possibility of conflict of interest, which could lead to a mission drift, that in turn results in a demand for high volume of services provided, jeopardizing the quality of services. The immense reliance on funding indicates a lack of a sustainable revenue generation model, thereby placing at possible risk the central value of the organization in an effort to meet funder demands. However, the organization has raised a variety of issues with regard to unspoken risks, which arise alongside creating new income-generating activities for Simpson House. As a result of these causes, which lead to the central problem of organizational imbalance, there are primary and secondary results and effects which can be mapped. The demand for high volume in services leads to poor quality of facilities provided. Non-adherence to funder demands can lead to a possible cut in grants, which affects the organization as a whole. Such a scenario arises in prolonged waiting lists for those seeking help and guidance. Due to the demand of higher volume in services provided, there is a direct repercussion in the mental state of the counselors and volunteers. This can possibly lead to a negative impact in employee turnover and retention rates. Yet another consequence of such a situation is the need for hiring more staff, which leads to further setbacks in view of additional and consistent training required for the new recruits. Taking a holistic view, an inherent effect that can be mapped is a divergence from the central value of Simpson House.
In such a state of organizational imbalance, the health of tree is clearly diminishing, and the following suggestions and solutions can water and nourish the tree in a longer lifespan. A valuable asset of Simpson House is a plethora of resources available in the form of well-trained staff. Creating a support structure within Simpson House in the form of counseling for counselors by counselors can not only improve the mental state of the employees, but also greatly affect communication of issues faced and unravel the various concerns collectively. To boost employee self-care, various partnerships can be created in the space of holistic well-being. Such partnerships can be tailored out of the wide social network that CrossReach has manifested in its 150 years of existence. Conducting possible workshops around meditation and mindfulness can certainly positively impact the mental state of counselors and volunteers. Conducting workshops and awareness campaigns in community centers and schools can mitigate the number of future clients, thereby generating a system change with far-reaching implications. Yet another solution is creating a bottom-up feedback system from both the organization and clients, which is shared systematically directly to founders and can transform the demands of target volume in a manner that aligns with the central mission of the organization. This will also help in comprehending what services have maximum potential to transform the lives of beneficiaries and create quality products which are fruitful. This will in turn reduce the number of consultations necessary, thereby creating room for taking on other clients, which directly increases the volume and satisfaction of funded demands. The years of experience can also contribute towards in-depth, comprehensive critical research and data collection to measure the impact of Simpson House within society. This will create reports for output measurement and value creation and can contribute towards transformational results within the sphere of treatment for substance use. All of these solutions will lead to a reinvestment in organizational development, which in turn results in a holistic reformation of Simpson House.
In applying the solutions as suggested, there can be considerable modification in the system as originally mapped. Creation of a support structure, contributing to holistic well-being, conducting workshops and awareness campaigns, and tailor-making quality products has direct implications in contributing towards a valuable change within the existing system.
Okay. I guess I opted to apply for a role at CrossReach mainly because of the values and because of the kind of core beliefs that the organisation represents and the opportunity to work with the clients that are here in Simpson House. As I progressed through my own, I guess, kind of journey over time, I became clearer and clearer on what I hold really dearly and kind of what I hold true to myself. And when I looked at CrossReach and the opportunity came up, and I learned more about CrossReach and particularly what happens here at Simpson House, it felt like a really good match. And I guess that's around the core ethos in terms of the way that we kind of treat each other in the service, and also around the faith element of CrossReach as well.